down to being able to quantify, if not quantify, qualify the response of a system. Now, in first order systems, we're really limited to just one parameter. No matter how much you change the value of the parameter, the shape of the first order system will always be the uh, itong sort of decaying exponential, flip nga decaying exponential, excuse me, function. So when we go into second order systems, as we will see, there will be more parameters to work with. So we will also you will also learn that there are more types of responses, time responses in the second order system. So just a quick refresher, what is a second order system? That is when you have a transfer function, or in the time domain, you have second order differential equation, or when you're now in the frequency domain, as plane, the highest order of the denominator is 2. Or furthermore, when you already understand what what the roots in the denominator tend to be. So when you have two poles, that is the roots of the denominator that make the value equal to infinity. So when you have two poles in your transfer function, you classify that as a second order system. So graphically, it looks like this. It's a numerical numerator divided by s squared plus as plus b. So general ni siya, no? General form. There will be specific forms or specific types of first, second order systems as we go along. So as an introduction, same atong gibuhat sa first order. That is, we take a known input, the unit step. If we multiply it to our transfer function, we can solve for the output C of S. But in our analysis of a system, we still need to go back to the time domain. So muna, just quickly, it sounds very quick, but we know already what getting the time response means. We need to perform the inverse Laplace transform. So hopefully, kaya ra kay ni nato, or you already figured out how to do this using the partial fraction expansion and the tables. So anyway, so on and so forth. So what characteristics really are similar? So depending on the component values, that is A and B, you may see something very close to a second order system, or you may see something that contains pure oscillations. So the system is defined by the transient response. The input defines the forced response. Diba katong C sub t, C of t is equal to forced response C sub f then plus C sub n, or the natural response, transient response. So what we will be learning is we'll be focusing on the natural response. Unsa di ay, what are the values of A and B that generate a certain type or a certain class of second order systems? So the first thing we will learn are wala pa din ako na-close from last meeting. The first type of system we'll look at are systems whose transfer function is defined by this. So the important part is kani, the natural response. Kani siya nga component sa ato ang transfer function. So if you take this, expand it to a product form, so we see that the roots are real, or the poles are found in have real components, di ba? So below this are the graphical representations of this one. So overdamped system looks like this. When we get the expanded form, we can quickly draw the S-plane. The S-plane becomes a very useful tool later on in the next topic. So when we look at the S-plane, the poles are actually found in the real axis. When we solve for the time response, in other words, perform the inverse Laplace transform, sayon naman no, because real man nga components, we'll find some numerical value for the residues, but the important part here is this, the exponential terms. So when we have two exponential terms, one plus, and then the other one is a negative, so we will get this type of response. So this is called an overdamped response. I will explain why damped is a key word in classifying the type of response in second order systems. So very close, no, to first order systems ang overdamped response. The next type of second order systems are underdamped responses. So a closer look at the denominator gives us s squared plus 2s plus 9. So nganong makaibaw ta nga underdamped responses siya, if you get the roots of this one, or a quick way of knowing is to get the discriminant of this second order system or second order polynomial from the quadratic equation. If it's not purely, if it contains an imaginary component, that's where you get an underdamped response. So di ni siya real nga kuan, di siya real root, so we'll have to perform, if you do the inverse Laplace transform, it will contain a cosine na or sinusoidal component in the natural response. So graphically, gamay kay mo sab, no, in the overdamped and underdamped responses. This part here kani siya, kaning block diagram representation, gamit siya sa transfer functions, control systems, the higher level we go. But for now, we want to understand the responses of second order systems. So when we look at the S-plane, the pole plot looks like this. So dili siya found just on the horizontal axis, na naman siya imaginary component, so it will be a pair. It will now have an imaginary component. And since second order, duha gini siya ka poles, and it's a complex number, complex conjugate gina siya. Meaning, you will have the same real component, but the imaginary component will have both signs. So a plus square root of 8 and a negative square root of 8. The response will look like this. So this is due to the natural response here. If you break this down, na siya exponential component multiplied to a sinusoidal. So a pure sinusoid would be oscillate ni siya, consistent og amplitude. But because of the decaying exponential here, we already know that a decaying exponential will lessen in value over time. So ang effect ani is the amplitude of our sinusoidal actually also decays. So this is the effect. This is the most common type of second order systems. Ang natural response niya di has oscillations. That's just its nature. Inaana lang gid na ang mga second order systems. So yeah. So the exponential part is represented by this blue line. This causes the decay, and the black line, kung wala pa ni siya gi-multiply by an exponential, sinusoid gyud na siya. That type of response is called an undamped response. And the denominator of that one will have purely imaginary components. Wala siya real component sa ihang complex number definition. So if it's purely on the vertical axis, you'll get a pure sinusoid in the natural response. There are cases where control systems are designed, or the objective is to create oscillations, no? But more common than not, we want an output that's stable. So undamped responses is characterized by this denominator nga ang roots walay real component. And last but not the least, we have the critically damped response. So kung natay real roots, natay repeated roots, natay complex roots, natay unique roots, or real roots, complex roots, o pure nga sinusoidal roots, we're now look at the last classification where our roots are repeated. So s squared plus 6s plus 9 is s plus 3 squared, or when we graphically block diagram representation kani as plane. So ang kuan lang ani sa as plane, no, para dili siya matago, or to make it more obvious, we have the poles represented by the x's na supposedly nag-overlap, di-offset lang siya gamay para makita nga duha siya ka book poles. You'll see that commonly in pro systems textbooks. So let's look at the time response. The force response are composed of two exponentials. One is multiplied by t are independent variable. That means as the time grows, the value of this as at earlier times, the factor is high. But since t is also a power of our negative exponential, mudecay ni siya. And kani kabaw na ta ni. Parehas na siya sa first order system. The effect of this second term is just that kaning nga part here, kaning na ay mura curve, this is caused by the second uh, exponential function, an exponential term, t times an exponential term. As you will see later here, overlap. Sometimes this is a good response. This is a better response. So to help you understand or maka-imagine ta unsa day naa aning mga types of responses. What if we look at we imagine ourselves riding an elevator that is controlled by a second order system, then we try to think what would it be like if the behavior of the elevator corresponds to these four classifications. So balik ka sa overdamped response. The overdamped, kaning mga vertical lines, is very close, very similar to our first order systems. That is, our rise time it's not as fast, but it's okay enough. And our peak time is at 5 seconds. So okay ra no nga, pislit ka og floor, mabot ka dito in 5 seconds. Ang kani siya may lingaw. So if this is the floor you want to go to, let's say, kuan ni siya, the 5th floor. You press 5, that means ang kaning 1.2 ning lapas ni siya gamay sa 5th floor, no? That means when you ride the elevator, musaka siya, munaog balik, hantod sa mo, makuha niya imong input. So the output follows the input. So this experience siguro is not a good type of control system response for an elevator. How about this one? Wagid siguro na siguro elevator nga nagpislit na kuguan, magbalik ko sa second floor, na ako sa ground floor. So in these types of precise control or precise output systems, the undamped response is not ideal or avoided entirely. Last but not the least, kani siya, the critically damped response. This looks very similar to a underdamped system. Sorry, overdamped system. But if we compare it, look at the timestamp here too. At 2 seconds here, nakaabot na siya sa iyahang final value. So in a way, we can see that this is faster. Makahatag siya sa imong final value at a quicker time than the underdamped or the overdamped response of a second order system. So going back, summary of what I've presented to you, poles, when the value of the poles are real and they are unique to each other, that's called an overdamped response. And the natural response tends to be this form, duha ka exponentials. Yeah. Next is for an underdamped response, it will be two values gihapon of S, but each value will have a conjugate pair. So the real component, sigma sub d, plus minus, or a positive and a negative term of omega sub d. So these are, and if we do solve this, we find that the natural response is katong exponential times a cosine function or sinusoidal function. Mo ni akong i-discuss ganina, the sigma sub d here actually relates to the power of our exponential. And the omega sub d here directly corresponds to the frequency of our cosine. Mo ni akong pan. So the damped sinusoid equal to the reciprocal of the poles real part. So kaning sinusoidal signal, kaning damping niya, kaning blue line is caused by the real part, and the oscillation here, how fast or how many cycles will be determined by the imaginary component of our poles. So the undamped response, purely sinusoidal, that is wala siya a real component, then you will get no exponential term multiplied to a sinusoidal function. Last but not the least, the critically damped response is two real poles and they have the same value. So sigma sub 1 or like sigma sub 2. When we do this, get the time response, two terms with exponential functions, and one is multiplied by t due to the because of the nature of Laplace transforms. If we overlap all of the four responses, you can see here the undamped response, purely sinusoidal, critically underdamped, meaning ang sinusoid niya, the amplitude is lessened. The critically damped, the overshoot or this peak does not go above the target value. And for the overdamped, nasubraan, of course, by the overdamping, that means the lessening of the sinusoidals is too much. So these are the four types of second order system responses. Any questions? Nag-joke ko kanina nga, basin, naka-join na mo sa lecture ba? Sa Meet niya. Either nag-tablet mo, yan may second device, nagaduwa na mo karon. Mura na akong imagine. Na siguro yung iba. Ay, usardo ka nga naminaw. Kung majority siguro ani natulog. Wala may question? Okay lang. Wapa ni math no pa formula. Ang next na mo yung kinanglan i-solve. So, yeah. So, minindot nga summary ani. Tungod kay second order na, we have more parameters mathematically speaking in the polynomials. So, more things affect the time response. Ang number one yung the number one naka-shake up or naka-different niya sa first order systems is the possibility of having a sinusoidal component in the time response. So cosines and sine. Now we want to figure out how to analyze this. So if makakita kag second order system, ang idea ani is at a glance, hebaw ka or with a quick calculation of the roots of the denominator or solving for the poles, kana lang daan, you can already give or predict what type of response the system has. Analysis money. So, nakay system, you need to describe the system or identify the characteristics of the system. Mo na ang analysis. First order, dali ra to, di ba? Unsa to ang A, natural frequency, you just needed to get the time constant, get the rise time, and settling time. Kato siya, time specifications to siya. Mao na ang sunod topic. So let's now continue with the next topic, the time response for a second order system. So we now look at a generalized treatment, or how do we look at as a whole ba? Kung tagaag ka second order system, are there ways to describe it or define it easily? There's an easy way, no? So, but we need to understand a few terms and a few concepts we need to understand before we get to that general form or an idealized treatment or analysis of second order systems. So, mahugog, ang concept na gid ani is may tatag shortcut to quantitatively get the specifications without sketching the response. Numbers lang, tungod kay nakasabot ta sa numbers, we can imagine what the system will be. Dako na kay nga significance ang being able to classify between the four types of responses in a quick manner. So one of the concepts we need to understand is natural frequency, defined by omega sub n. So omega sub n is defined as the number of oscillations, or how many times the system will move back and forth, repeating pattern. So the natural frequency as compared to an applied frequency is the frequency that the system generates when imo ra siyang gi-on. So manay pasabot aning third na bullet. So intrinsic frequency, belonging to itself, natural to itself, mo ginaiyahang kaugalingong state. So the intrinsic frequency can be determined if you give it a unit step. Mani yung pasabot, you're given a kick. So balik, i-on lang nimo ba, yawa na kay lain i-apply nga force, mo oscillate ba siya? So mo na siya ang natural frequency. As from the introduction, some systems will oscillate, some will not. So, but we take natural frequency as that definition. So frequency of oscillation connected to the natural frequency is measured in hertz. So complete cycle. So kano sa siya ning go from that value away from that and going back. So ning repeat siya in a way. And ang iyang gi-emphasize dire, when we look at oscillations, ang ato ang concept dira is instability. So there are control systems by definition unstable di if naa siya oscillation. So we will learn about stability in a few months, but gi-introduce na siya karon. When we think about analysis of control systems, there is such a thing called stability. Stable ba imong system or not? So oscillations right now, ang gi-introduce niya is kung naay oscillating system, basin unstable siya. So further terms here, cycles per second as it relates to frequency. The measurement here is hertz, and the another relationship of frequency is the period. No. So when we take the inverse of the frequency, we get the period, or the amount of time where a complete cycle one cycle completes. So another introduction of system stability, when we look at the transfer function as a whole, di ba namte values for S. So eigenvalues, or the values of S that solve the equation, the transfer function as a whole, purely mathematics, if na siya real parts, negative nga real components sa ihahang solutions, stable na siya. If wala gani siya real negative parts, basin unstable siya. More na ipasabot aning kaning two bullets. Damping is a concept, is the term damping here as it relates to control systems is how much we lessen the oscillation. Di ba, second order system, second order system gani, basin mo oscillate ni siya. So we use the term damping to define another concept where the oscillation is being lessened. So no siya. So we also have the term damping ratio. So the damping ratio is determines, that tells us how fast the oscillations go away, if they do go away. And consequently, if wala kay damping, wala gi hunong ang pag-oscillate sa system, you get an undamped system. And it will just keep on oscillating as the system is running, or as the system is processing the input. Yeah, so quick example, if mo oscillate siya 5 times in a second, that means the frequency is 5 hertz, and the period is 1.25 or 0.2 seconds ang period. So furthermore, to characterize oscillation in the context of control systems, what we mean by oscillate is that the output of the system, this could be anything, this could be temperature, this could be position, this could be uh, volume, this could be air. So what we mean by oscillate is that the output is moving back and forth. Ang term back and forth denotes position, but what it means is goes to a positive trend and goes down to a negative trend. Mo na siya ang oscillation, di ba? Mo na ang nakakuha na ni back and forth na term. So back and forth denotes position, but when we talk about oscillating, musaka siya na siya upward trend and then nasa siya downward trend. Balik na siya. So this is what we mean by oscillating output. Repetitive cyclic variation. So nasa siya, this is in conjunction with a desired equilibrium. And this means the input of our system. Diba? When we turn on the system, I guess one merging mo on ka switch, di ka ganahan nga ang imuhang the output of a switch, light switch is turn on the light. But isad kayo nga ang imuhang system kay second order di yeah. Ang output light, there's only one desired one practical output of light, it's on or off. So if that means ning oscillate siya, meaning nag-flicker imuhang lights, although naka-on siya, it's operating in the output is an oscillating pattern. All in all, when the system is oscillating, pasabot ana, that means wala kay stability. When systems are unstable, what is the consequence? So in real world cases, let's say water level, you want to control the water level in this tank. When you most in manufacturing is done at scale, no? What does mean at scale? Daghan kayo nga volume, dako kayo nga quantities. So manay pasabot at scale. So if you think about liquids, timpla kag coke, timpla ka og beer, kanang lang gyud nimo i-mix ang liquids together. So you need to control them. Because at scale man, you need control systems. If your control system for the water level or liquid level of a certain tank is oscillating, pasabot ana, your valve will turn on and off. Diba? The output of the system needs to be on, nasa positive, off, nasa negative. That means ang output dili siya consistent, and it could also lead to the destruction of the valve itself. So maguba imong valve. So the design of the control system must have stable output. Why does this happen? Why do we have oscillating outputs or unstable systems? So one cause could be the control parameters, i.e. some of the inputs in our control system or our transfer function is undesirable. So poor design that can cause instability. Downside if the system does not break, the power plant or the manufacturing plant does not break, it does still create a product, could be lower quality, and overall, ultimately, you could get a broken system. So instability or oscillations is undesirable, or overall instability is avoided. But some systems, by design or by nature, diba, natural response is oscillating. So damping in control systems, the natural tendency of a system to reduce or restrain oscillations. So natural tendency. Sabot ani, what does this mean? Natural tendency is it's built into itself. A second order system has a built-in method of lowering or reducing the oscillations, the instability of itself. Mo na siya. Typically by dissipating energy from the system. So there's no detail, no? Generally, when you dissipate energy from a system, mo lower gid na ang iyang movement. So muna ang damping. We want to have damping in most of our control systems. So when a system naturally oscillates and somehow we manage to remove the oscillations or steady it out, muna ang term na to is steady state. Kaya wala naman ang unsteady state defined as the oscillation. So second order systems have damping built in. And this could come in the form of friction for mechanical systems or resistance in electrical systems. So how good the system is can also be attributed to how good the damping is. So how fast the damping is, or is a one way to identify the quality of a second order system. So oscillate, natural response, damping, control system. So important din siya, so we assign a symbol to it. So we call that, this is lowercase zeta, and we call this the damping ratio of a second order system. So the damping ratio mathematically is defined as the exponential decay frequency divided by the natural frequency. So ang kaning second definition, importante ni siya, gi-convert niya ang units. So the exponential decay frequency is converted to the exponential time constant, so 1 over the frequency na siya. And natural frequency is converted from degrees to radians. So nahimo siyang natural period. So 1 over f is equal to t. So mo siya the new definition now. Another definition of zeta is this one. So mahibawon sa na nato. You will figure out later on asa din yung natural period, asa din yung exponential time constant mathematically. So the next concept is the exponential decay frequency as kaning numerator sa atong zeta. So this is known as the decay rate, the damp frequency. And what this means mathematically is that kung na-solve nimo ang S sa imong transfer function, if na siya real part, mo na imong exponential decay. That's the exponential decay frequency. And the value of this determines how fast or how slow the decay happens, or the lessening of the oscillation happens is determined by this one. So another way, real axis component of the poles of a critically damped or underdamped systems. Exponential decay. Real component of the poles. Pila na ni? Yeah, from the previous graph, gibalik na sa tani. Unsa day ang real? So the blue line here is the decay. Kaning nasa numerator. The sinusoidal operation, sinusoidal oscillation generated kaning black nga line. Mo ni siya ang denominator. So if mas daghan ang ato ang frequency, the higher the frequency, the smaller zeta is, kay inversely proportional man siya. Mo ni ang relationship sa natural frequency o zeta. Another way to look at this is that if zeta is directly proportional to decay, so if zeta is very high, that means the decay happens very fast. Anyway, di ba? Decay man. So, inana na siya. Pas imong decay. So these are some of the conceptual ways to understand this mathematical definition of the damping ratio, the natural frequency, and the exponential decay frequency. So let's move on. Let's update our understanding or our definition of the second order system. Earlier, tatong graph, no, the block diagram just contains this polynomial. Now that we have new terms, we will relate that to this form of the transfer function. So ang replacement ana is kani. So B is equal to omega sub n squared. A is equal to 2 times zeta times omega n. More na siya. If we do this, we now have a general form of the second order transfer function. And because of our understanding of zeta and omega sub n, we now have more ways to describe or to define the 4 types of responses we learned earlier. katong critically damped, underdamped, overdamped, ug undamped response. Kung makita ko sa zeta ug omega n, hopefully in the coming slides, makakita you will understand the relationship between these two symbols and these four outputs, these four time responses. So furthermore, when we have the polynomial b defined in zeta and omega n, using the quadratic equation, we can solve for the roots, and the formula is now this one. I tried to derive this earlier. Wala man ko'y drawing tablet. So, batik kay ko gagi. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, me. Ikan sa... So, yeah. So after 10 slides after 11 slides, updated na to ang kuan. Hopefully nakasabot mo unsa nang omega sub n, unsa na ang zeta, and how it relates to the output. Ato nang ako nang i-discuss karon, or may discussion, okay, what may back and forth. Ni-explain karon. So, yeah, the relationship between zeta and the output is this one. Kaning first column. So zeta is dimensionless, a ratio man siya of time over time, cancel out. So zeta, if it is 0, again, zeta is really just the real part of the poles. So kung wala kay real part sa pole, purely imaginary, you will have the poles at the imaginary axis, the vertical axis. And it's a undamped system. The response is the undamped response. But if zeta, as you calculate it, or as you see it in the transfer function, if it's between 0 and 1, meaning na siya real component, o imaginary component, you will get the underdamped response. The next one is if zeta is equal to 1, pasabot ana wala kay imaginary component, you will get a critically damped system. And if ever zeta is greater than 1, you will get the overdamped system. Wala siya imaginary component sa iyahang roots, niyang poles. So of the 4 step responses of a second order system, the most common one is the underdamped response. And it so happens in the underdamped response, there are 4 time specifications. So time specifications here refer to katong rise time, peak time, and sorry, not peak time. Rise time and settling time from the first order system. So underdamped responses are used to describe itself, and is also one of the best ways to describe the other responses. So murag mo niya tong generic na response, and within the variations of this response, we can use that to describe atong undamped, critically damped, or overdamped systems. So how do we know that this is the most common type of response? I think textbook or studies in the field have determined na second order gid ang common, like kaning a combination of electrical networks or kaning a combination of springs, dampers, masses, iyang behavior di is a second order system. So mo na atong focus. This is where we start learning to identify the time specifications of second order systems. This is the math involved. Sorry. This is using the systems earlier, no? Using this one, kaning transfer function, i-solve na to ni multiplyan tanig 1 over s. Step response. When we do that and we go back to the time domain, This is now the form of our time response. Math is mathing. It's very beautiful. Nagyapon na exponential component, nasa gyapon ang sinusoidal component of the system. Kani silang zeta, kani these are just numbers na kananglan ra i-identify. So na dito summary in the specific underdamped case, defined ba to no nga underdamped siya kung ang value nimo between 0 and 1. Wala ilabot ang 0, wala sa ilabot ang 1. So if you this is a plot of all to compare systems where the damping ratio is 0.1, 0.2, so on and so forth, that is from 0 to 1. Unsa the effect niya? So when you look at 0.1, ang atoang system has this peak due to the oscillation, di ba? So because the damping ratio is very small, daghag oscillations makalusot. Kung adto ta sa extreme end 0.8, tungod kay dako ang atoang damping, the damping ratio is very high, ang oscillations mura nagnawala. I think lowest line. So somewhere in the between is just that trend, no? Time responses is a function of zeta. That is, if we change zeta, the output that we have will look like this. So 0.8, almost no oscillations. At 0.4, naitay gamayng oscillations. But at 0.1, this is in danger of becoming unstable, where kung ma-zero na ni siya, dako na kayo ni siya oscillations, and they never damp, they never go away. That's how we understand, or that's how we can use the damping ratio to predict the output or the shape of the second order system, general second order system. Aside from that, there are 4 time specifications that we can use to further characterize or describe the second order system that we're looking at. So rise time, familiar tani from first order systems, as well as settling time. So the settling time definition actually is more understandable in second order systems. But yeah, let's go over 2 and 3 first. So 2 is peak time. So kita mo nga ning oscillate. Peak time is just the amount of time it takes for the output to reach that first peak. Di naman sa gini siya mo balik aning maximum value. So in other words, what is the maximum value of the output of our system? Okay, because of the damping nature, because of the damping ratio or ang natural damping sa system, di na ni siya mo sakaan ang level. So when we get that time, when the value reaches that point, that's peak time. The last but not the least is the percent overshoot. So overshoot, nalapas siya sa iyahang target output. More na siya pasabot sa overshoots. I think the term is taken from archery or shooting. So when you aim, nasubraan mo yung aim above the target. So you overshoot ka. Undershoot is when you have a target but your shot was below it. So percent overshoot ang atong term ani. We want to know by how much nilapas atong output. Is there an opportunity to give my favorite elevator example? Last na ni. So if ni-overshoot yung mga elevator, imagine na mo ni imuhang gipislit 5. Yung overshoot ani I think 0.7. So sige 10 lang. Ni-overshoot siya by 70%. That means kung sakay kag elevator nga ang damping ratio 0.1, niadto pa siya sa 17th floor, ning naog sa 4th floor, inani hantod sa makaabot siya sa imong target nga 10th floor. So the overshoot here, this part is very critical in design. So the second half of control systems is design man. So manang at this analysis point, ato ni siyang i-consider na already. So that's the 4 times specifications we want to calculate from our second order transfer function. So yeah, this is a general transfer second order underdamped system. Gi-highlight ni asa ni makitaan So if you want to get TR, we need to get 0.1 of our final value, 0.9 or 90% of our final output. Project it here, go down to the horizontal axis or the time axis. Get the difference here, that's our TR. TP is, yeah, follow the output. If niabot na siya sa maximum value, yan yung naog. Asa to nga point, what time was it nga reach siya sa maximum value? Project it down, that's our peak time. So lastly, settling time. So again, that's why the definition here is stay within plus minus 2% because second order systems actually oscillate. So kung wala ni ang within 2%, ato ang basihan is wala ang stay di. So if mo reach within plus minus 2%, pasabot na by that definition alone, kani siya nga point here could be our settling time. But as we observe the output of the system, lapas man siya. Wapagid siya ning settle sa iyahang final value. Lapas pa siya diri. Dabot na sa niya ang definition nga reach plus minus 2%. Kani sa 1.02, positive 2%. Nibalik na sa niya diri. And then, so it passes through the definition 2 more times before it gets to here. Where inigigot niya ani, the oscillations are dampened enough nga di na siya mo gawas sa iyahang 2% nga plus minus 2% na gap na range. So this is now the point in time we measure and call that time settling time. Ito sa first order system, di mo gud na mahitabo, but we borrow the same definition to be consistent with all the time specifications of systems. So how do we calculate these 4 time specifications of second order systems? The pinakalingaw ani is kani damping ratio. What was the, if you read the textbook, nani siya, I think 2 pages pa to of just describing why the rise time in second order systems is it has a lot of factors when you calculate it. So what they found out was statistically they measured a lot of second order systems and they find that if we normalize the rise time according to a specific metric, specific normalize siya sa tandan, natay formula for that. But since case to case man ang rise time, that is for every system you're analyzing, lahi yun na siyang rise time. And we can calculate that specific rise time to the system you're working on by getting this value, we call this the normalized rise time, and dividing it by omega sub n. So 2 steps ang pag-solve sa rise time sa any given second order underdamped system. Get the normalized rise time, divide it by omega sub n. Kung ano siya, third order polynomial. Muna ang graph sa third order polynomial. Yan siya yung tabular form to make it easier to work with. So if nakay 0.1, just use this table, substitute here, divide by omega sub n, na nakay answer sa imuhang rise time. Instead of using this one, so gi-highlight ni asa gikan ang imuhang omega sub, imuhang normalized rise time based on zeta. The procedure is simple. If I describe the procedure simple, but getting the actual value or getting the overall form of the equation into an easy to use manner is not that it's non-trivial. Lisod. So ang buhaton na to, gamiton na tong shortcut. There are 2 ways to do this again, just to emphasize. Use this formula or use this table, get the equivalent value, and substitute finally into this ratio. So get normalized TR divided by omega sub n na nakay rise time sa imong second order system. Okay, about na taas ang normalized rise time. Where do we get omega sub n? Oh wait. gidefine pa din nato ang uban time specification. So peak time, toilet paper, TP is defined as pi divided by omega sub n multiplied by the square root of 1 minus sigma zeta squared. Nasa textbook, gidefine ni siya, giderive ni nga formula. Ato lang skip for brevity's sake. And also the setting time, taas na siya. So, dawatan na lang ni siya as the gospel truth, as tinuod. So, TP, kanya nga formula, TS, 4 over zeta omega n. Percent overshoot, very fun. Nasa ni siya sa textbook, unsaon ni siya pag-derive. Ako ning gibuhat one time, wala. It took me 30 minutes to do this on the whiteboard. Explain ko. And then after, and at the end, wala mo siguro yung so dawatan na lang sad ni siya. If you rearrange this, you can actually use this formula to solve for zeta, or the damping ratio. To look at ways to calculate for damping ratio if you've been keeping track. So knowing all that, the formula sa TR, formula sa TP, so formula sa TS, and percent overshoot, let's try to solve them given an example. Ma-delete ba ko ni? Ayan. Delete. 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 Ayun na lang. I'll go with this na lang. So how do we get omega sub n and zeta then? So if we take a look at our earlier updated definition sa second order system, this 15 is actually equal to 2 zeta times omega n. Di ba? And 100 is actually equal to omega sub n squared. So dira na to makuha ang values needed to solve for the values we need to solve in these formulas. So may siya. So cross multiply rata ni zeta out. Two unknowns ta ani. 15 equal to 2 zeta omega n. Paano na to magamit? We can't use this yet. So we look at this one, this relationship. So 100 is equal to omega sub n squared. Omega sub n, one numerical value. So square root both sides, we get omega sub n. So when we have this, we can use now this information to solve for zeta here. So zeta is actually equal to 15 divided by 2 times tan. So cross multiply rin mo 2 omega n from this side to the left side. So we now have a value for zeta which is equal to 0.75. With zeta and omega n on hand, omega sub n in hand, we can solve for TP, TS, and TR. So TP, pi divided by omega n times the square root of 1 minus 0.75 quantity squared. You cannot solve these formulas without a scientific calculator, or you can use MATLAB to solve all of these. Kaming gibuhat ganina earlier. So if you take MATLAB, create a new function, you can amo sa ning gisod vibe coding sa nina ko ganina, control shift P, ask Copilot solve for the rise time of a second order system. Mo generate sa gid bitaw siya o equation or dili lang gid correct or dili siya mo match sa ato ang discussion. So ang rise time Katumantong normalized rise time divided by kuan, di ba? Divided by omega sub n. So, although sakto iyahang conditions, maka-generate yapon siya og code. Dili, do not, dili, ayo lang sa ligi. So, yeah. So, rise time, ang atong gamiton was normalized rise time divided by omega sub n. So, dili lang ko ni gamiton, but let's use that to solve for the rise time na represent diri. So, rise time, maklaro ang ako MATLAB on the screen. Rise time is equal to normalized rise time, diba? Norm TR divided by WN. Mamito itong formula from the slides. But norm TR must be defined as what's the formula? Let's use the formula for this one. The formula is we need 1.76 times zeta raised to the third power minus 0.417 times zeta second power plus 1.039 times zeta plus 1. So let's save this. I think second order rise time save. So if we calculate second order rise time, itong input, sa to itong the same man. So omega n was 10, zeta was 0.75. Press enter, 2.287. This correspond to the answer. Yeah, close enough. Di ko niya, sa tawagan ni, round up. So, on this example, majority sa iyang gipang solve is actually third decimal place. So, una itong standard from this point moving forward. When you have to calculate something, it has decimal points. We take the 3 decimal places. The last formula. Function. PERC OS is equal to PERC second order OS. Bawat tao omega n o zeta. So ba omega n zeta ba to or zeta omega n zeta and so PERC OS is equal to, so the formula sa percent OS, exponential. So PERC OS is the exponential function multiplied by negative quantity zeta times omega n, ang ito numerator, divided by the square root QR t of 1 minus zeta squared. Exponential numerator. Yeah. All of that is multiplied by 100. Kasi error. Add a semicolon after the segment to hide it. Yeah, done. So when we solve for a second order percent of overshoot natay 10 nga omega sub n o 0.75 nga zeta. Percent overshoot is 2.838. Okay. Debug, save siya. Ito ba itong formula? Error. Oh, closing. Okay, save. Let's run this again. Asa ko na sa'yo?
Saan eh?
Bro, mo refer ka kay na kay free 1 month. Gamitan na yung school email.
Pwede ra.
School email dapat.
No. For each element in array x, exp lang. Take the exponential function negative sa numerator divided by denominator. So, na ito balik. 0.012 gid. Bugo zeta times pi. Stupido. There. So, wala gamit ang omega n. Purely zeta day ang per OS. Percent overshoot. So, 2.83%. Sakto na. 2.838%. So, mana siya. This is how you get the time specifications of second order systems. So, if mo solve mo ani niya, wala, dili pwede ang MATLAB. So, you need to have your scientific calculator. Any questions so far? Good morning sa mga natug. Isa may matug karon. Kalo, Padas. May usually matug. Si Adag. Samuka. Do not turn on your cameras, please. Don't need to imagine your faces, please. Na okay ra ko sa imagination, ayaw lang ako. Okay. Any questions? There is another way to determine the time specification. So kanisha from the transfer function, solve this, we can get the specification. Another way to get the time specifications is actually from the S-plane. So if you get the pole plot of your second order system, makalculate nimo tanan functions as tanan time specifications. So nasa tayo mga shortcut ng mga solutions. So TP is now simply pi divided by omega sub d. TS is equal to 4 over sigma sub d. So asam ning sigma sub d o omega sub d. So these were the values of our poles. Makitaan man na ang location sa itong poles. So, XY axis, but imaginary and real components. So, we just need to get the real function, real value at this axis, equal na siya sa negative zeta omega n. Or, in other words, sigma sub d is equal to zeta times omega sub n. And another part, omega sub d, or the imaginary value here in our poles is actually equal to omega sub n square root times the square root of 1 minus d squared, zeta squared. So, bisag plot pa lang daan, you can actually, and by knowing these relationships, you can solve for the time specifications. Kanya, mas dali i-solve ang zeta. Because remember, zeta is just the ratio of omega sub d and zeta sub d. Sigma sub d. To get zeta, you just take the angle of the line projected from the origin to this point. So the angle between the horizontal axis and this projected line, ang angle ana niya, the cosine of that angle is the damping ratio. So that's the additional formulas we need to recall to solve for time specifications from the pole plot. Example na. No, wala mo siguro example. Oh, the hatag rani niya. The next part is how useful is the S-plane in determining what classification of second order systems do we get. Nai patterns in the S-plane. Constant imaginary value, constant real value, and constant zeta, or always the same angle, have corresponding effects in the time response, or iyahang graph will also change. So kung constant imaginary imuhang value, that is, you're moving this pole to the left and right, kining usabra real part, the imaginary component is always the same. Ang effect ana sa imong second order system is constant imong peak time. Conversely, if you have constant real value, that is, you're moving up and down here, constant imuhang settling time. ES will always be the same, basta bahalag i-move nimo pasaka o panaog. Lastly, if you move away from the origin, kanini isbog siya dire, ang mahitaboan na is you have the same percent overshoot. Every other time specification will be different, but percent overshoot will be the same. I-summarize na siya direct. So let's look at this graph first. So if you have three systems that have this relationship, or if we take system 1, move it to a separate position, conjugate pair man ni siya, so your plot, as it moves farther away up from the horizontal axis, it will also move farther away down from the horizontal axis. So ginumber ni siya 1, 2, 3, na siya ay corresponding time response drawing diri. So ang 1 has this, 2 has kaning light blue line, yung daghan ng oscillation, and 3 sad. So ang nahitabuan ni is you have the same settling time. So the decay of your exponential did not change. Ang nausab is all the rest. Imong rise time na diri. Imong peak time, imong peak time na diri. Imong rise time nagkagamay pod. The percent overshoot also changes except the settling time. So na yung mga 4 bullets here. So yeah, as the poles move in a vertical direction, the envelope remains the same. So the decay of your sinusoid will still be the same. So shows a constant, man siya. So the settling time does not change. And a consequence is that as overshoot increases, the rise time decreases. So inversely proportional ang relationship sa overshoot to rise time. So rise time, percent overshoot, dako, say 100%. Mohang rise time must be very fast. So the second pattern here is when you have a constant imaginary part. That is, you're moving the pole or the system. If you're comparing systems, the values at the horizontal vertical axis are the same. You're moving horizontally. So a real part ang nausab. So if the real part changes, the same imuhang peak time. So peak time is the same for all waveforms. So may dili mo change. As the poles move to the left, the response dumps out more rapidly, while the frequency response for the frequency remains the same. So ang ihang settling time mo pas-pas based on number 2. Pas-pas kaya ang settling time. I think ihang rise time hinay. Nagkadako. And last but not the least, if we keep the same, if the change in the horizontal and vertical axis are correspondingly the same rate, so diagonally na siya, it's moving away from the origin diagonally, ang mahitabuan na is ang overshoot sa imong system constant. The further the poles are from the origin, the more rapid the response. So 3, layo na kaya, nagkadako atong imaginary real axis value o atong imaginary axis value, the rise time actually becomes faster or smaller. Small time, faster ang effect. The responses look exactly alike except for their speed. So, siya. The S-plane can be used to predict the effects on a time response. So, we can also solve for all of the time specifications based on the S-plane. Wala kay transfer function, but if you have this, ma-generate mo ang time specifications. So, kukuha na ito ang zeta, omega n, TP, percent overshoot, and TS, wala TR. Wala yung ipasolve ang time response. Sorry, rise time. So, damping ratio, as defined earlier, zeta cosine theta. Zeta is equal to cosine theta. By the way, when you solve for theta, always use arctan. So theta arctan, you can use your calculator and please set it to radians. So our zeta is 0.394. Next is we solve for omega sub n. The relationship for that we had was you can use the formula, or you can also get the you can use the Pythagorean theorem. So omega sub n is actually this distance. Distance from the origin to the pole. Muna siya ang omega, natural frequency, omega sub n. Dati formula or this one. So, nagtanaw lang ka sa graph, you know 3, you know 7, Pythagorean theorem, or if na-memorize niyo mo ang formula, omega sub d is equal to omega sub n times the square root of quantity 1 minus zeta squared. Ma-solve niyo mo. And lastly, nanatay theta. Updated atong formulas for the peak time and the settling time. So, TP is just pi divided by omega sub d. Omega sub d is naa sa plot mismo. 7 na siya. So, pi divided by 7. And percent overshoot, you still have to use the formula. As long as you get zeta, which we solved earlier, substitute dire, you get 26%. And last but not the least, settling time is simply 4 divided by sigma sub d, or 4 divided by the real component of our pole, which is -3. So 1.33 seconds. Wala any questions? Is everybody here? Wala absent? Nasa Bordario? Bordario. Bordario. First name ni Bordario. Sid Andre. So, naa ni siya activity. I'll check if i-update ni Ma'am Blas. Kaya sa ako, wala niya gibutang ang group 2 mo, no? Yeah, wala gihapon niya. Sige, next meeting, just do LE4. I'll try to ask Ma'am Blas about the asynchronous activity for this one. Namin kita i-seat work kada unit. So, mo-solve mo something about the second order systems. So, by team, gyapon na siya. So, if wala na may questions, dire lang ko to ba tong lecture? Wala pa ba eh. Ang target na mo ni Ma'am Blas is after kuan daw, after UC days. Wala yung specific date. UC days na ba next week? Quiz ta next week, probably. Katong unit assessment. So, kaning second order systems. Quiz ta next week. Mag-online ta next week or in person. Mag-kuhan ko poll. Online. Offline. Next week. Next meeting din. We need to get 80%. Yeah, 80% of the votes. 80% of 20 is 18. I don't know how it comes out for you guys, but naaram siguro sa kwan. If naman siguro sa right side, I guess. We need 6 more votes. overwhelming majority kay online. So, online lang gihapon ta on Thursday. But, wala na lecture. Mag-on lang. Work on lab exercise. And I'll just have this Google Meet open. Yeah. I'll just check if na may questions. So that's it, everyone. Thank you. Goodbye.
Salamat, sir.
Salamat, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.